Okay, maybe. Yeah, but that's not what this means. Though. There's more. If you think in IE, what other presentations did you do? Video. All right. So why would a video be used over the other one? I already said it. Why would a video be used?
It attracts the attention of the audience more.
Maybe. What's the other big thing about a video?
You can distribute it.
Yep. You don't have to be there. Yeah. You don't have to be there. You can distribute it. You can be watched over and over again. The audience can watch it when they feel like it. Yeah. You've got a chance to edit it. You can make it perfect. Versus me speaking, I can make lots of mistakes and perfect. Okay. So video is one. What else have we done? You did one at Expo.
Elevator pitch.
Yes, an elevator pitch. When is that good?
Well, you have to give
An elevator.
When you're in an elevator? That's usually what people write in the...
well, you have to give a brief description about what you've been doing. Like
When you don't have a lot of time, your audience does not have a lot of time, and you've got to get a message across. Yeah? Elevator pitch. What else? Reports, yes, and when are they good? You just need to say, when are they good, when are they appropriate, when was the PowerPoint presentation appropriate? Does that make sense? Is that okay? And any other thing you might think of? 4 things to consider in order to give an individual or team effective stand-up oral presentation. Go. What do you think you need to consider?
The voice. Voice.
Your voice? What would you consider?
I consider information.
Yep. So your energy, your tone. Good. What else?
Interaction. Engage,
Yep.
engage our audience.
Yep. So usually called non-verbal communication. Okay. So all those cues, eye contact, paying attention. But that's fine. What else?
Body language.
Yep.
With that, so could you just use non-verbal communication, or would you want to actually
You
have a breakdown?
should have a couple of words. Yeah. The content itself, you want to say something that's engaging, that makes, that they actually care about, relevant examples, shorter. If you're going to use visual aids, think about colour, sequence. Also just think about the fact that there's 4 of you doing a presentation, so there's different considerations in that versus me by myself. So there's 4 of us up here. The people not presenting are just as important as the people that are presenting. Okay. Well, if they're mucking around on their phones or sleeping on the floor, probably not a great look. Structured communication, 26 marks. Who wrote this? What are meetings?
Gathering people.
Come together. Okay, correct. And they can be formal or informal, yes? Bye-bye. That's it. Great, easy 2 marks. So what's a formal meeting? What's a formal meeting? Yep, it follows a set of rules and regulations, so it usually involves an agenda. Okay? Informal?
Certainly no preset agenda, it can be impromptu, that some topic could be.
Or an individual example in your pages that you read, yeah? You're about to meet your industry mentor. There are things you need to consider before arranging the meeting, list them. Okay, what do you have to consider? Yeah? So, what's the who? So, just gonna think about what we're asking you. What do you need to consider about the who? Who should be there, right?
Yeah.
So, when we say who should be there, what's the sorts of things you think maybe we're thinking about? So, if you just say industry mentor and me, you're gonna get 0. You might get 1. What are we asking you to tell us?
Stakeholders.
Yeah, so it depends on what your meeting's about. Does that make sense? So if your meeting's about solving a data science issue, let's use that for example, it would make sense maybe to invite a external data science expert. Yeah? We just want you to think about that you've thought about the who. Does that make sense? Yeah? And you need to tell us that you've understood what that means. Okay? Why? So, what's the why? Is this meeting really necessary? Yeah? Is there any other way of doing it? Because we hate meetings, I hate meetings. The when? What's the when? Yeah, okay, so don't write time. Because when is time? So what do you think we're asking you about? What would you consider about time? Yep, how long will it be and what else? Should you do it a Sunday at 9 p.m? You need to say things like, our instrumental is working, so we would pick a suitable time for them. Okay? Maybe not too early because they're not morning people, or I'm not a morning person, or our industry, whatever. Where? What would we think about the where? And don't say the address. Okay, what else about the where? What would you consider about the location?
Are you going to need any kind of presentation technology or any
Got that?
sort of,
Did you get that? Are you going to need any other technology? Are you going to need a server? Is it better to be closer to them or closer to you? Okay? Is it better to be in a cafe or that noise is not going to work? That's what we're talking about. Not just, I've had people write where and they write the address of the university. Okay? I know where the university is. Okay? It's not what we mean. Cool. And the what? What do you think the what is?
outcomes?
Yeah. So what's usually the most important thing about a what? Starts with A.
Agenda.
Agenda. Okay, so anytime you see a what, you must write the word agenda. Alright? Okay? A plan, an agenda. An agenda is what? Why are they important? What's an agenda?
5 marks.
It's a plan.
It's a plan.
List all meeting activities with the time to schedule.
Yep. That's right. The plan, these are all the activities. What does it contain? The persons who call in the meeting, what's the objectives, if there's any carryover actions from the last agenda, etc., etc. After the meeting, is that the next question? You need to tell me because I can't follow this. Yep. Provide feedback to all. Oh, I'm telling the answer. What did you ask me? Minutes of a meeting, yep. What else? No.
Check the progress of action.
Yep. Check your action items. Yep. Provide feedback, minutes. Yep.
And inform the relevant stakeholders.
Correct. And not just those that were present, okay, including those that were absent. Why do we need minutes?
Just let you know what decisions they make in the meeting and what action should do.
So what do they become? What do minutes become? They became a legal record of that meeting. So in business, if you get sued, you can go back to the meeting minutes. But actually, the client said on the 7th, not that I've been sued on the 7th of October, that they didn't want. And here it is in meeting minutes. And anybody should be able to read those meeting minutes and know exactly what was added, was decided upon. Okay? It's really important. I don't have to be there to know what was decided. Okay? So it's not a blow-by-blow description of what happened, it's just all the decisions. Okay? Need to think about close time. You know all the stuff in meeting minutes, don't you? We know all the stuff. Is the next one working in teams? What is a team?
Yeah, the answer wasn't deleted from the.
Ah, did you get that one right? Yeah, it's a group of people trying to do something. How is an agile development team different from a traditional team? How's an agile team different from you?
Well, agile team leader different from a traditional team.
Okay. So what are they? So, you all struggle with this, it's easy, come on. You've done agile, what does an agile team leader do?
It's more of a management kind of a role rather than being a leader.
Correct.
And you do not give instructions. It's basically kind of like a host kind of role.
Correct. Okay, traditional, you tell people what to do, but not necessarily do anything yourself. Okay. Whereas in an agile, you're more like that. Traditional will solve problems, will tell people what to do, all that. Agile team leader, the biggest thing you need to say about that is that they're an equal part of the team, they're just like anybody else. They work as well. This is described briefly. These custom statements are team development, giving examples for each. So what are, did they leave these with someone? Do you know the stages? So what are the stages? So forming, storming, norming, forming, adjourning, reforming. Okay. So do they go? Do they have to go in that order?
Nope.
Can you go back and forward?
Yeah.
Okay, it's really important. So forming, what's that one? What's forming?
Up until we can do ECT.
The first, yeah. You don't know who they are. Just trying to work out where you're all sizing each other up. What's storming? It doesn't necessarily have to be a conflict at all. It sounds like a conflict. What's storming?
When there's differences in the opinions amongst the team members, and where a couple of team members are trying to seek power.
You're trying to work out your place still, yeah? That is really what's storming about, yes. So everyone's trying to find who's the team leader or become the team leader, yeah? There could be conflict, usually in this stage, and you lose some performance. But you still do start seeing yourself as part of a team. You start. Do you want to see? Do you want to try and find it? Yeah. Norming, was that? Norming? You start working better, yeah? Growing sense of togetherness, you start to work better, okay? Establish some ground rules. What's performing?
Together and working towards the common goals.
Does every team reach performing? No, they don't. And what's the adjourning one?
Longer contact.
Yeah, so basically you say goodbye. You're no longer working on a project together or okay. Just really remember that they don't all have to go in linear. There's not one, then two, then three. You can go back and forth. It's very important that you understand that. Conflict resolution is usually necessary in teams at some stage. In your studio, there are teams that have many problems, you may have anyways, which cause much conflict. Give 3 examples of behaviour that need to be encouraged to prevent conflict. Give 3 examples that need to be encouraged to succeed. What? Okay, go, tell me. To encourage? I statements? Yeah, you could.
Appreciate other ideas.
Appreciate other ideas? Yes, it's good. What others?
Clear communication.
Clear communication, paraphrasing, listening. Yeah? Building on others' ideas, inviting critique of your own ideas. What are things you should control? What are things you should control? This is something that I have to always do. Interrupt people mid-sentence because I always interrupt them. Not acknowledge their ideas, yeah? Criticising other people's. Resolving issues, encourage openness to alternative solutions, dealing with facts, staying calm. getting defensive of your own ideas. Just think about what's happened in your IM teams, or maybe what happened, the other bad team in your studio, and use those as examples. Yeah? What are I statements?
Just talk about your own feeling, not blame other one. Not
Yeah. So is this an I statement? I hate everything you do. Is that an I statement? Just because it starts with I does not make it an I statement. This is very important. Okay? Because I read some of them and they're that, and that's okay, so make sure. They contribute to effective communication. It's usually I feel, okay? I feel that you are not listening to what I'm saying. In one of the teams, the following happened. Is this on your? I can't tell what the question. Can somebody tell me what the question is?
In one of the teams, the following happened. Jeeve says to Bert, you don't let me have any input into this delivery cycle. Bert says, that's not true. You never tell me what you want to do. This resulted in a full-blown argument. Using I statements, give an example of how the Jeeve might have better communicated and resolved any conflicts before it arose.
Okay, so what would we say? What would Najib say?
Can I say I want to contribute to the team, but I don't know where should I start?
That could be. Yeah. What else? I feel frustrated when I suggest things for this delivery cycle because I think I have lots to offer. I'd like to discuss them further, or something like that. Not, I feel that you don't listen to me. Working in multicultural teams. Your IE team is probably made up of team members from different cultures. Are there advantages and disadvantages? Explain your answers. So, again, it's up to you whether you think it's good or bad, but you must explain why you think it's good or bad. Okay? So if we look at advantages, what would there be? What would be an advantage? Adaptability? Why would that be an advantage? Okay, this is where the one-word answers do not work. You have to explain. Okay. So what would be adaptability? Why would that be? So why would a multicultural team be good? Why would a company insist on a multicultural team? Let's go that way. Different sets of ideas, that's fantastic. Okay? Different perspective, different sets of ideas. What else?
Experience in different markets, so different.
I want to take my product worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, or even I want to be really successful in Australia. We're a multicultural country. Yeah? Yep. What else? So adaptability is one, but you need to tell me why. Yeah?
A different to learn a different way problem
Yeah.
solving.
Exactly right. So there's different ways, just because of your background, you have different ways of solving a problem. And that could lead to a faster or better way of solving it. Okay? So what are some challenges? What are some bad things about a diverse workplace? Communication gap? Absolutely. Again, you say why. Why would that happen? Okay, so that's bad, communication is bad, and that can cost me money, it can cost me time. Yeah? Miscommunication. What else? Yeah, maybe it's self-become a barrier. I think it's right, communication. What else? What's another reason why people do not like a multicultural team? Sense of trust. Sense of trust. Maybe you've got some hang-ups about different things. There's also resistance to change. Certain people work in a certain way and they may not want to change that way that they work.
You can bring in the high context, low context.
You could.
Ideas.
Yeah, you could. You don't have to, but you know, resistance to change. Maybe my product really isn't going to go out to everybody. It is just for this particular culture, this particular narrow segment. I can't think of anyone who want to do that, but you could talk about that. Okay, what is DMIS? Is that what we're up to?
Yes.
Okay, you have to yell at me because I can't tell from you. What is DMIS? Cool. Excellent. And who did it? Who proposed this model? Excellent. Gold stars. Bennett. Well done. I was okay with this. Excellent. So what is important at this stage and why? What is it about? Tell me a stage in the DMIS model. Denial, defence, yep, acceptance, yep. Excellent. So 6. You need to be able to describe each of these. Okay? So denial is what? They refuse to learn anything about the others. So the last one, integration, what is that? More than accepting. Exactly right. So it's very difficult. So I could live in Italy forever, even though I am half Italian, and I can tell you now, I don't think I could be integrated. Alright? Because even though I go back and I speak the language and I look Italian, they go, we know you're not doing it. Alright? And I could be there for months and years, and I think I still not truly Italian. So it's very difficult. Right? But you do need to understand each of them. So denial is the first one, defence is where you start defending your own culture over others, saying I'm better than yours. Minimalisation, you start believing in other cultures, start sharing common values. Acceptance, we accept them. Yeah?
Is that because you are better at managing a budget in general, or you can't?
They know. They know by the way you talk, or I don't know. I don't know how they know. They definitely do.
Enjoy a full working week as opposed to 3
Yes.
days.
Sort of go to sleep when you do. Adaptation is where you gain ability to adapt your behaviour easily and effectively, eventually change. You do need to know these. It's something you just have to kind of rote learn. How do you think this knowledge helps you? Knowing about this model, how will it help you in the future or now? What do you think?
You can realize when you're in denial or defense and then
Exactly
see
right.
that and move through it.
And others' actions to you. Both ways, yeah? The fact that you can say, actually, I know where we're at, I know why this person's behaving this way, it's not really them, it's just, this is society. Yeah, and you can work out how to mitigate. It's good. How can you encourage information and ideas when meeting with either mentors or peers? Is that what we're up to? Detail specific listening and interpersonal skills, including any non-verbal. So talk to me, what would we do? What's a non-verbal one? Gestures like what? Eye contact, yep, what else? Did we say something? What other communication things? Nodding, yes, excellent. What else? Smiling, yes. Mirroring facial expression, raised eyebrows, getting excited. Effective listening. Is this an effective listening? Oh, whoops, that was the answer. Ha, effective listening, that's another one. What do I mean by effective listening? Check the accuracy of what it is. So your reply back. So they say something to you, you re-say it back to them. Yeah? Check what they're saying, summarise what the speaker said, acknowledge what they've said, open the door for more. Okay. Effective questioning can assist in getting appropriate, good quality feedback from your mentors. Give, for example, different questions. Oh, this is another one. I love this one. This is another one I like. Okay, I'm hopefully not liking this year. So what's the different questions? What are they? Tell me a type of question.
Straightforward.
Straightforward. What's a straightforward question?
What's your name?
What's your name? That could be an example of one, yeah. But what defines a straightforward question?
Closed question.
It's direct, yeah? No waffle. What's a reflective question? Try me another type of question.
A reflective question.
A reflective question. What's a reflective question?
Question where someone has to retrospect and give a response back.
So you mean that's a reflective question, yeah? So you're reflecting back whatever they've said to you. So why would you use a reflective question?
Clarify understanding.
Yeah, ensure that you understand each other. What's another question type? Open, what's an open question? Extra information. A what, how, why is usually an open question. Lots of different answers. What else is there? A leading question. What's a leading question?
It's a nice day today, isn't it?
Yeah, more a rhetorical question, but yes, it could be a leading question. What else could it be? Usually something like you will finish by 10 a.m. won't you? Yeah, you will finish by 10. Something like that. It's like you're forcing someone to say yes. Okay. Rhetoric question. So I didn't know this, but Asian countries don't have rhetoric questions. Is that correct? Can someone tell me? Do you know what a rhetoric question? I'm a really good teacher, aren't I? That's a rhetoric question. Yeah? But I don't think Asian cultures have it. Do you have it? Yue tells me you don't, because I've spent 2 years trying to explain a rhetoric question to Yue and he still doesn't get it. Okay. So it's not really a question. Okay. So it's something like, I'm a really good teacher, aren't I? That's a rhetoric.
So where do you draw the line though between a rhetorical question and a leading question?
It's hard. And that's fine. You just need to say that. Yeah. Usually a leading question is you're forcing someone to agree with something you want them to do. Whereas a rhetorical question is you don't really expect an answer at all. Yeah? So a rhetorical question you don't expect an answer, whereas a leading question I'm forcing you to do something. I'll agree to something that you may not agree. Objective. Did you say, have you done objective questions? There's objective questions and a testing question. A testing question is not, does this website work? Okay? That is not a testing question. Okay, a testing question was something like when you already know the answer but you want to get an honest thing back. So how much contribution did you do? Or what was your feedback from the last iteration? That's usually when we're trying to test you that you're really listening to us. Okay? Is there a difference between hearing and listening? Are we okay with questions? Is there a difference between hearing and listening? Explain your answer.
Hearing, just hearing.
Yeah, hearing is what my kids do. They do not listen. Okay, hearing is what listening do. Alright, so you need to understand the difference between hearing and listening.
Well, you could be, so that's, to sort of carry on with that example, surely you could be listening to something without paying attention to it. So you can listen and understand
So
without
listening implies that
acting.
you're going to pay attention. Hearing says it's just in one ear and out the other.
Well, no, but I mean, like you could hear something and listen and understand it without actually responding as one might expect.
No, that's true, but listening usually means you've paid enough attention to it to take it on. Okay? Versus hearing, which is what your ears do. Okay. So what are some barriers to effective listening?
Distractions.
Distractions, yep.
White noise.
White noise, what else?
Interest in the topic.
Interest in the topic could be. Daydreaming.
Sporadic sort of topic or unclear delivery of the topic in general.
Even just the attitude, give me the facts, and then I just go on over and done with it. Things like that. Prolonged conversations. Yeah, time, if it goes on forever. Are we up to code of ethics? Technology can be misused, is that what we're up to? Some people think a computer-related theory is not correct. Is that code of ethics? Anyway. Some people think if computer-related career is not a profession, what would they think is? By giving 5 reasons. Firstly, who thinks here that computer is a profession? Yes? Yes? Profession, yes or no? Who says it's not? Who doesn't care? Alright, if I say it's not, I believe it's not. Okay? I truly believe it's not a profession. So why would I say that? You don't need a license to do it? Correct. That's one. What else?
There's no specific education background.
Yep. Anyone can call themselves an IT professional.
If you say
Andrew.
if you say computer related, it's very, very broad as well.
Correct.
So someone that works for DHL shipping computers could say, I work in a computer related profession.
Yeah.
They'll go,
But anyone can call themselves whatever, can't they, really? Okay, and there's no governing body, there's no accreditation, it's not like a doctor where you gotta go back and do it again. Then you might self-learn and self-teach, but there are people that still do COBOL programming, yeah?
everyone in a bank.
Right, so they've never gone back. Is it really a profession? But I'd say that soccer players can't be professionals, so doesn't mean that it's professional. So,
But again,
anyhow.
this is the semantics of how you define the word profession. So
But
playing
again,
soccer
it's up-
professionally is because you get a wage to do it.
Yeah, but I got a wage to be an IT person, so maybe I am professional.
Yeah.
I understand. So, but it's up
this is
to you.
semantics and debate though, so
That's right,
surely.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which position you're on, just that you can describe the position, that's what we're checking. Okay, that you can use that. What is the ACS? Oh, did they come to speak to you?
Yeah.
Was she very good or he?
Yeah.
Okay, what do they do and why? Just by writing it, it's not going to be enough, just so you know. You don't have to say everything in there, it's in their charter, but you need to say a few words.
They have a general code of ethics that
Correct.
people with.
Yep, so they've got a general code of ethics, what else? They look at it continually engaging with the body for improvements, enhancing, and they talk to government bodies, something like that. Why are codes of principles and ethics developed and promoted by law? Why are code of principles and ethics developed and promoted by professional, I get it now, professional associations? So why? Why do you think they do this?
To justify their own existence.
No.
To protect developers.
They do try and protect a group of people. They also are trying to protect society from you. Okay? So you guys have got a lot of power and influence on society. So they're trying to make you all behave at a certain standard. Okay? Use your own words to describe that.
But this though, like all of this assumes though that anyone working in that sort of area or profession would adhere to that code of ethics. And there's no sort of binding regulation.
Correct, that's why I say it's not a profession.
Yeah.
You just put your view, yeah? Read scenario below, adapted. Is this one, I don't know what you got now. Did someone tell me what the question is? Is this about the consultant and the software consultants negotiating contracts with a local community? Did you do this in debates? Design traffic control system, here it comes a select the TCS system out of several. The consultant failed to mention that he's a major stakeholder. What would you have done to address this? So what should the consultant have done? Yep, should tell them. Should declare their interests, yes? Anything else? And you should probably refrain from any conduct that affects this group, yeah? The local community, what should they have done? Anything? Well, according to the charter, they probably expect that everyone's being transparent, yeah? And you can say that according to the ACS charter, they expect all parties to be transparent. The chairman and company producing. What does the ACS say that they should do?
Declare conflicts of interest.
As soon as possible, they should declare any conflicts of interest. Yeah?
So the question says, describe how the 6 core ethical values and associated requirements of professional conduct from the Code of Professional Conduct from the ACS might support your response in each instance. Does this mean that we actually have to remember verbatim the Code of Conduct
Usually
from the
the
ACS?
core is in there, okay?
Yeah.
Usually the core 6 values, which are public interest, the others, quality of life, honesty, competency, professional development, professionalism, are usually listed in there. But as long as you have a general feel for them, you'll be fine. But you don't need to know the charter off by heart. Does that make sense? I just read the charter beforehand. Professional issues, quality and reliability. Workers in IT community have great responsibility. What is an unreliable system? Give 3 examples. What's an unreliable system? You use one all the time, every day here. Why? Mikey could be an unreliable system. I don't know if it's what? Yes, Moodle. The number 1, right? It's been recorded. Why is it unreliable? And what does it do to you? What's the consequence?
Impedes learning.
It could make me jump one day. I swear there will be a day that I will jump. All right. So
The OLT are trying to actually revamp it.
They keep trying. So what's the difference? It says here, including videos you've watched. There are plenty you've read about, including videos you've watched. Have you watched videos?
Sorry, can I just go back to unreliable system for a second?
Yeah.
What's a good definition of that? Just saying like giving the same input and it returns different outputs, or?
Basically, it's any system that behaves differently to what you expect.
Okay.
Yeah? And they could be system critical. What's a system critical system? Or a safety, or you call it safety critical, maybe, I don't know. Safety critical, did you do that?
Hostile software.
Yeah, so things that endanger life. Yeah? And then there are mission critical systems. Yeah? In here it talks about Mikey, police force damage by computer errors, medication mix-up, life support system, patient record system, no spaces in it, airline, flight control systems, onboard computers, banking. So the fact that an ATM doesn't work, do you think that could be a life situation? Might be, but if I can't get any money to feed my kids tonight, just think about it. Yeah?
I mean, if that's one ATM out of however many.
Yeah, but like, a few months ago there was a lot, the rest of the others. Just have a think about it, that's what I'm saying. Probable answers to question should include testing is critical to remove, you didn't ask that question. Examples and consequences. So you need to think about, so Moodles doesn't work, what is the consequences of that, yeah? Mikey doesn't work, what's the consequence? You get picked up, you haven't swiped on, swiped off, you now get fined, you're now in court. Or because you didn't scan. Yeah. The products you created in your industry group unit need to be robust, reliable, and good quality. This describes all the processes that you consider used to improve the quality and reliability of applications, and in fact will improve the quality of any developed system. 10 marks! So what do we think? I don't like this answer. Actually, there are hundreds of things. In fact, everything they did.
Testing.
So what did you do?
Testing.
Testing. Is it enough just to write testing? You need to explain how you did it. Yeah? What sort of testing? User acceptance, user journey, whatever. Whatever it is you use. What else? Structured walkthroughs, reviews, adhering to standards, all these things. thorough design, thorough analysis, training. Are we read out to 9C? When a system fails, who do you consider responsible for the failure? Developers, yes. Okay, developers Y, QA Y, analysts Y, designers Y, UX Y. So do we think the users could be to blame? No?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
The required not.
I'll say it's your fault for not understanding what I said. Okay, so there is an argument to say whether users are or aren't. Gail is of the opinion that users are never to blame, all right? I'm just warning you in case you might say that. I am the opposite because I work in industry and I think users are just as much to blame as everybody else. But that's why I don't work in my company anymore. So, no. But it's up, you can say either, okay? You have to explain why though, all right? If you think it's the developer's fault, or that's your position, you just need to explain why, okay? I would say they're all to blame. Everybody is. So it says any answer as long as you have sufficient reasoning, although I would never say users. This is Gail's thing to me. Intellectual property and privacy. What is intellectual property? What is it? What's IP?
The idea, a piece of work, and it can be anything.
So it's an umbrella term. Yeah? To cover a mix of laws and rights relating to protection of ideas, designs, expressions. Copyright is one of those legal regimes, whatever, within article. In Australia and Malaysia, copyright term fair use is replaced by what, and what is it used for? So in Australia and Malaysia, copyright terms fair use is replaced by what? So we don't have fair use, what do we have? Fair dealings, correct. Okay, and it's used for research and study, review, parody and satire, and reporting news. Okay. If the use doesn't fall within one of those purposes, it isn't fair dealing. You do need to know about research or study, criticism or review, reporting the news, parody and satire. But you need to know about each of those. Do you need me to go through them?
No.
For example, you can make a copy of a chapter of a book for a study. You can print or take screens of content you can find on the web search for research. You can include quotes or extracts from other work when you publish your research. The main thing to watch out for is how much you copy. It's fair to photocopy a book chapter, but not the whole book. Okay? Is that right? That's the example that's been put in here. Are all photos on the internet free to use? Why not?
There are copyrights associated with
Yep. Different levels of copyright can exist with a single work. Duration of copyright is how long? 70 years. 70. At which point it extends to the public domain. Okay. Which of the following does Australian and Malaysia copyright protect? You will lose mark for incorrect answers. Is that what's on your thing? Okay. Ideas the program uses. Is that protected or not?
No.
It's just the specific code, isn't it? It's protected as a literary work. The rest of it is.
Ideas the program uses, no. Methods the program uses.
No.
Specific code could be, yes?
Well, yes, on the basis that it's protected as a literary work.
Yeah, and if it's unique. Name of the program? No. A framework for ethical decision making set. What that's in Santa Claus, Santa Claus. List of 6 tasks that might help you solve an ethical problem. So, what, have you got one, recognise an ethical issue? Is that on your? So tell me 6 tasks that might help you with an ethical problem.
Solve philosophy.
Determine the issue. Determine ethical issue.
Yeah, find out, determine whether it is an ethical issue, yeah? Recognise it. What else? I'll tell you what they are, because I don't know if you, this is in a paper or what. Get the facts. So recognise an ethical issue, get the facts. Evaluate alternative actions options. So which option produces the most good and do the least harm, or which option best respects the rights of all at stake?
Develop a plan.
Make a decision and test. Act and reflect on the outcome.
So there are 5 tasks.
6.
No, in the material, it's 5 tasks.
Here it says 6 tasks. So recognise an ethical issue, get the facts, evaluate alternative actions options, make a decision and test, act on it, and then reflect. Act is separate to reflect. Okay. Describe and detail how you would use it in the following scenario. Oh, I better read it. Okay, she had been so successful, she now had several people working in her many clients, advised on how to set up corporate internet design database. Presently, she is designing a database management for the personnel officer of a medium-sized company. Joanne has involved the client design process, informed the CEO and director of computing and director of personnel about the progress. It's now time to make decisions. Because the system is going to cost more than they planned, the clients have to offer a less secure system. She believes the information they'll be storing is extremely sensitive, will be included performance evaluation, medical records, so forth. With weak security, employees working on a client machine may be able to figure out ways to get access to the data, not to mention the possibility of online access. Diane feels strongly that the system should be more secure. She has tried to explain the risk, but the CEO, director of the company, and director of personnel all agreed the less security can do. What do we think? So what's the first thing we should?
So is this an ethical issue?
Yeah, is this an ethical issue, and explain why it would be. And is it?
Yeah.
Yes, and explain why, okay? So the facts, what would you do? Just list down the facts that you know in that word, okay? It's going to be less secure, save money. Evaluate alternative actions. So what are some different actions that they could do? What are things that she could do? Yeah. One might be,
Simply highlight the fact that the security is subpar or
yeah,
not up to standards, and have them sign a waiver to that effect. So
Could be.
remove herself from any sort of liability.
yeah. What else? And just think of 3 or 4 different scenarios. There might be that she lives to job. I don't know. Make a decision, yeah, test it, implement it, and then see what happens. Just apply those 6 that you had before to this scenario. Okay, again, there's no wrong or right answer. This is your understanding of it. Sensitive data are data that can be used by individuals. Yeah. Explain, provide an example of ethical, equality, security, and privacy considerations for each of the following.
So under each of these, like data collection or acquisition, we have to write about ethical quality.
Yep. So for every single one of them, you do
Four.
need, yep, so 1, 2, 3, because each one will be worth 4 marks. Because it's worth 20. So if you went data collection or acquisition ethical, are we sourcing the data legally? Are we acknowledging the original creators of the data? That would be what you'd write there. Then you go quality, is the data clean? Are we cleaning the data? Yeah, what's the authority behind it? Security, what is the data link? Is the data human or machine generated? Is it open to abuse, SQL injections? Yeah. Then you go privacy and say, what's the sensitive data we are collecting? How have I got consent? are we aware of what constitutes sensitive data, especially generated by machine? So each you do for every single one of these, just like that. Okay? So the ownership, what would be an ethical ownership issue? What would be an ethical ownership issue? What do you think?
Is it private or public?
Yeah? The bigger issue would be if you've collected data from multiple sources, then who owns that data? Can you claim ownership because you've got it from multiple places? Yeah? Who owns the copyright? What if there's more than one creator? Quality, what would you say? What's the governance that's going to be in place? Security, where's it going to be kept? Should it be legislated? Etc. etc. Who's going to be accountable if it's not secure? Privacy, what are the legal current landscape of ownership of sensitive data? Should people have access to it? Should government departments have access to it?
Privacy and ownership.
Privacy for ownership?
Yeah.
Yeah? What does the current legal landscape say about ownership of sensitive data collected by you? Would be a consideration of that. Should people have access to the data or not?
Oh, it's about accessible. But in ownership, no, I think.
Storing. Oh my God. Storing. Ethical. What's the ethical consideration about storage? Scalability. Could be the data size explaining many organizations setting policies for managing the data secure and renewable power, building. Yeah. The quality. What have we done to build a resilient data storage ecosystem? Granularity. Resilience of the hardware. Security. What policies are in place? For example, any data that is visible in court needs to be stored in a hardened environment. What are the strict rules and access to it? Encrypted backup. Privacy. Sensitive data may need to be stored separately in an attempt to anonymise it for legal purposes. Man, this is Harnum's question, isn't it? So sounds like Harnum. Banking regulations in the UK. Yeah. Transformation and consolidation. Ethical. If we transform the data, we can potentially alter the original context. That's a big ethical issue, yeah? Do they have the right to know privacy risks? Quality. Ensuring accurate data. Using documented transformational methods. Staying grain consolidation. No. Merging clean data. I don't think there's enough quality. Let's go ahead. Transformation, consolidation, quality. Ensuring accuracy of the data using documented transformation methods. Same grain consolidation. Consistent merge keys, clean data, etc. etc. Does this make sense to you?
No.
Initial answer?
No. That's what it says. I'm going to ask the question. Transformation security, single point management of the transformation process. Okay, I can deal with that. Privacy, how we identify flag data that requires additional safeguards being transformed. Okay. Publishing, sharing. Ethical, have we published your data and metadata put into user consent? Okay. Ethics committee approval, fine. Quality, have you done everything to ensure the quality is okay? That one's okay. Publishing is okay. Security, what policies and procedures have you got in place to unauthorised access? Privacy, are you allowed to share sensitive data you did not collect? If you have generated sensitive information, e.g. through jigsaw re-identification, are you bound to protect the privacy of the data? And from who? Will data need to be desensitised prior to publication? I'm just not sure about that. Did you do something about transformation of data? In lectures or something? I'm just not sure about that one. Transformation. Done. So, I might ask about that question, if you like, and put something on.